Hello, my dear. I'm Elena, a certified matchmaker and dating coach, and I have been working in this field for the last 19 years of my life. So I believe I have big experience and a lot of knowledge on this topic to share with you. And today I would like to ask one of the burning questions that sometimes men ask me and that sometimes women complain about. It's about when is it right time to give money to your girlfriend. Let's say you are dating a Ukrainian girlfriend and your upbringing, your culture is different about money in relationships, and our culture, Slavic women, they are different. So how could you find the common conclusion, common decision, solution for both of us that would fit you both? Many scammers, they just manipulate with this topic, and that's why you get scammed. They can say it's our culture, you should give me money, and so on. And in this video we will look into details how much money, when you need to give to your girlfriend, not to be scammed, but at the same time to build, to develop your relationships with the Ukrainian woman. Because if you never give money, it's another problem, of course, and I guarantee your relationships won't continue. It's interesting that when I started to search Google to read more about this topic, how people feel about it, what they say about it, and so on, I found out that when I put this question in English, I found a lot of articles and opinions of Western psychologists. They're saying that you shouldn't give money and it will ruin your relationships one day, because if you stop doing this, if you have some problem at your work and you can't give your money anymore, your relationships inevitably will finish. But at the same time, when I put this question in Russian, most of the sites that I found, most of the sources that I found were telling you should give money, you should provide a woman, and it's normal in relationships. You see, we are all human beings, but our culture are so different in this field. So if you want a Slavic woman, if a Slavic woman wants you, some American, Canadian, European man, both of you should understand about this difference and be able to adapt, to discuss, to find compromise, because it can't be only like you was brought up, and it can't be like she expects it to the full measure, maybe as she accustomed in her own country. So let's look deeper. First of all, yes, you should be ready that Slavic women, Ukrainian women, Russian women from Belarus, they are all different from your culture. And our women, they, in most of the cases, they got accustomed that the man is a provider, is someone who is more strong, who is caring, who can provide the family. If she has a little child, a little baby, she stays at home, and man is the main provider. So our women check if a man is a good person for this role, for her future, even on the stage of dating. So if you decide to split the bill, if you decide to when you go to a trip, for example, to divide these expenses into two parts, 50 to 50, I guarantee you she won't like that, and she will most probably stop these relationships, or she can have very low self-esteem, very low, and maybe not so good looking woman, and then maybe it will be okay for her, but it's very little percentage. And I guess you maybe don't like this type of woman at all, I mean visually. So be conscious about it. But at the same time, if you are dating, you just started dating a Ukrainian girlfriend, and she says you in 2-3 days, you should provide me, you should send me money, I am a woman, I am weak, you should do it. No way, don't do it, never do it, because it's it's scam for sure, or it's a person who is has bad manners, who can't make money being an adult at all, and it's a bad sign again. Agree with me? So how to find this balance? As soon as I am working in matchmaking, and mostly I work with my clients on the stage of dating before they get married. Let's discuss this stage of relationship. So you started dating a girl, you talk a lot. In our case, if you are in the US and she's in Ukraine, let's say, or somewhere in Europe because of the war, you talk 2-3 weeks, and after that I always recommend you to meet as soon as it's possible. If you can't, you continue talking using video calls, chats, and so on. And on this stage it's quite acceptable, and it's a sign of your attention, it's a sign of your even upbringing to give her some little gift. You can send her flowers, a box of chocolates, something like that, just to make it something pleasant for her. Because in our country, in Ukraine, of course our men are changing too, and they are moving more to Western type of mentality. But still, men who are older, let's say 40, 45, they court a woman. And even telling you from my personal experience, I don't consider myself a poor woman, but when man is interested, our men usually give gifts. They can send money for some things that I do for myself, like cosmetologist, lashes, nails, and so on. They can give some gifts for children and so on. Of course, I never ask, but I know, and our other women know, that if man is really interested, he starts to invest. And in our culture there is like a saying already that the more man is investing in you, the more precious you become to him. So he won't easily refuse you in the future if he invested a lot. And it's also about money, not only emotions, not only feeling, not only time and attention, but also about money. So if you are really interested in a girl and you like her on the first stage, the first few weeks, you can give her some little gifts. Then when you talk to her more and more, you can listen that she has some difficulties in life, especially now when there is a war, still is a war, and most of our women, they are abroad in Europe. Most of our people are struggling because when I talk to my friends, just with the people I know who went to other countries and started working, in most of the cases, I would say in all of the cases, they found jobs that are less qualified than in Ukraine. They did in Ukraine. They don't require so much over their education and skills like it was in Ukraine. And in most of the cases, our people don't get the same money as European people get. So you can be aware of it, and most probably women will need some of your help. But again, you can do it when you feel it's right for you. So I remember the case when one of the men asked me, this girl is asking me to send her $100. I'm thinking if I should do it or not. And there was so many emotions of him, so many worries about sending this $100 that I told him it's like a charity. You don't know her very well, you don't talk a lot, but at the same time it's not so big money. You can do it like charity if you want. You can send if you feel you don't want to do it, and you will remember about this $100 for all of your life, and you will regret a lot if these relationships won't continue. Then don't do it. So in many of the cases you can just do it like a gesture from your soul. If you really feel you want to do it, you want to help, you want to take part in her life. But at the same time, it's not a rule that you should do it. Act according to your feelings, and also you can always drop me a line and tell me about your situation, and I will tell you what is better to do in one or another situation. So you are in the middle of relationships on dating. Let's say you are dating several months. And here, depending on the situation, you can send your girlfriend some amount of money per month if you want. If she's doing good without it, and it's okay for both of you, you cannot send her anything. So here you should look at your precise situation and decide if you should do it or not. And again, I'm telling you about the feelings, your feelings. If you feel you're reluctant to do it, you feel you don't want to spend this money on her, it's wrong for you, or you are doing it and experiencing a lot of negative emotions that you really don't want to do it, but Elena told and I should do it, don't do it better. Follow your feelings, follow your heart, listen to your gut feeling too. And on the stage of dating, our girls usually look at the qualities of strong men, the men who can on whom she can rely on in the future, especially if you have children. So this issue, when you are giving something to her, you are helping her with money, it's like a test too. But again, it's your right to choose if it's okay for you or not, or maybe you choose a European woman. And again, it's interesting. I met here in Bulgaria a woman who is half Russian and half Bulgarian, but she was born here and she graduated here in Bulgaria, so she has kind of more Western mentality. And she says that most of local men, they don't want to take care of women, they don't want to provide a woman, don't want to get married, don't want to spend money. That's why she's not married, and she's looking for someone who can provide her and her child. She doesn't want to have children in the future anymore because she doesn't trust that marriage can last a lot of time anymore. And you know what happens? I was thinking about it. On the one hand, in Europe, many men don't want to provide a woman. There is people are equal, partners should be equal, both should work, both should invest 50-50 and so on. On the other hand, women become more requiring in this situation. They think, why should I work to take more load to myself? If I get married, I take care of children, of home, of husband, plus I work as I did before. What for should I get married? This is the logic of this girl exactly too. And I guess many European women think the same way. And what do we have? In traditional families from Arab countries, they have a lot of children. Man is working, woman not, taking care of children. But the white population in Europe is getting reduced because there are less marriages, less children. And I think one of the factors is the way how European people can think. And tell me please if it's true or not. I heard about the states in the US who are with democracy, and the other who are more traditional, like Texas, let's say. And I was told that the women should choose men from traditional states, because these men, they are more family oriented, they are ready to provide, they are ready to move forward and develop in financial sense, and not to rely on a woman in this field. Is it true or not? Tell me please in comments. And also I want to say, when you are moving further in dating, you was on the first stage, then you are in the middle, then let's say you are dating a year already, and everything is moving. You want to have her in your life, and maybe you are getting ready to give her a proposal to get married. Before it's important to discuss the topic, financial topic, how things will look like in your family, to avoid expectations, wrong expectations, false expectations when you won't feel happy after all. You know, the discussion of financial question is always unpleasant. People usually feel a lot of things, they have a lot of feelings. Usually they feel a lot of shame, fear, anxiety. But at any rate, you should discuss these questions, because it's also about trust. If everything is clear between you, everything is honest, including financial side of your relationships, everything is discussed, and you have the same opinion about it. For example, you have common budget, you plan your spendings together and so on, then it's even making you closer with your partner. If after getting married you find out you have very different ideas about finance and who should do what, who should invest how much, it can be a reason of divorce. You know, according to a lot of research, the lack of money, or even not lack of money, but different opinions about financial side of the relationships of the family cause to divorces. If you don't want to do it, discuss it before you do it. And also one more idea for you: when you are just started dating a girl, in the beginning you can ask your projective questions about financial side of your life, of your dating, of your relationships with men. Of course, you can't ask her directly. Usually it's not right time to ask her directly, let's say, how things will be in our family, because you are just dating. But you can ask projective questions. They are like about other people, but in fact you know something more about her opinion. Or she can tell you about her past relationships, and she can mention the financial issue, and be very attentive at this moment. You will hear what she didn't like about it, and most probably you will hear the model she would like to have in her own new family. And again, it's a time for you to make conclusions. If you feel the same, if you think the same, you can continue with her. If not, you understand she's not for you, she wants 50-50 budget and so on, then yeah, you just need to find another type of woman. But again, telling you all this, I remind you about scammers, and don't allow them to manipulate with the financial specificity of Slavic women and just take money from you and scam you and use you. Put like to this video if you really liked it. If you are not subscribed, subscribe my channel please, and see you soon in my new videos. And under this video in the comments I am waiting for your answers about types of states in US and where it's better to find a husband, and maybe some more questions from you about our topic today. Have a nice day.